Man, I still can't believe I'm telling you this, but fuck it. It's the kind of shit you don't forget. This happened a few months back, and every time I close my eyes I can still hear it. A little noise, like someone dragging a shoe, and then that feeling in my stomach like something sliding off a shelf. It's 3 in the morning. My apartment is that weird dead silence that only happens when the whole building's asleep. The radiator's idling, the streetlight outside hums like a lazy neon mosquito, and my phone is buzzing in the other room from some dumb meme I had forgotten to open. I wake up because my brain decides now is the perfect time to notice every tiny sound my place makes. I lie there for a minute, half asleep, trying to fall back into it, when I hear it again. A soft scraping, like fingernails on wood, but lighter. Under the bed. At first I think it's the cat. I don't have a cat. I sit up. The floorboards in my room whine the way they always do, like an old man complaining, and the noise stops. I tell myself I'm being dramatic, that it's the building settling or the neighbor being a weirdo. Then it happens again, slower, deliberate. Something breathing, right under the bed. My stomach drops. I swing my feet over the edge and my bare toes hit cold laminate. The lamp by the nightstand is dead, because of course it is, so I fumble for my phone, set it to flashlight, and crawl to the edge like some kind of dumb animal, light trembling in my hand. I point it under the bed, and for a second the beam hits only dust bunnies and a pair of sneakers I forgot I owned. I laugh, a nervous little bark, and tell myself to breathe. Then from the dark, a face answers me. Not the whole face at first, just 2 big, wet eyes that look like someone stuffed them with surprise and left them there. Wide, frightened, human, but wrong. And then a voice, high and breathless, like someone who's been holding their breath waiting for me to notice. "I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to." I go cold. I don't yell. I don't scream. I'm the kind of guy who freezes, who calculates the exact 2 steps to make out of danger. But my brain short-circuits into disbelief. Who the hell is under my bed? I manage, my voice sounding stupidly loud in the tiny room. This person, because, yeah, it's a person, all limbs and teeth and frantic apology, crawls out from under the bed like they're uncoiling. They're in these old sweatpants and a hoodie, hair matted, eyes enormous and raw. They sit up on their knees like a child who's been caught doing something terrible. For a second, I think it's a joke, a fucked-up prank, but the look on their face is pure panic. "I'm sorry," they say again. "I just wanted to be near you. I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want to bother you. My mouth goes dry. I back up until my shoulder hits the dresser. "Dude, what? Why are you under my bed?" And then they tell me. And it's one of those moments where reality turns into a slow, ugly balloon, and I can feel the air whooshing out of everything. They say, without making eye contact, that they've been sleeping under my bed a few nights a week for months. Months. They say it like it's nothing, like people do dumb things, like this is a cozy secret. They say they slip in after I fall asleep because it makes them feel close, like they're not alone, like I'm theirs in some small, horrible way. I stare. The room seems to tilt. The catless apartment has never felt so small. My first thought is, Jesus Christ, call the cops. My second thought is, what the hell do you even say to that? Get the fuck out feels obvious but inadequate. Are you okay? Feels insane. So instead, like the idiot I am, I do what I always do when I want to get away. I leave. I storm out of the apartment in my pajama shorts, barefoot, phone in hand, the cold night air slapping my face as if to wake me up properly. I walk fast and jagged, to the only place that feels human at 3 a.m., a 24-hour donut place that smells like burnt coffee and the ghost of other humans. I sit there at some plastic table in my socks and watch people I don't know order things I don't care about. My hands shake. I keep replaying the eyes under the bed like some obscene clip on loop. I half expect someone to slide into the booth across from me and say, "Kidding, bro." No one does. Eventually, I decide I can't just run. I go back. Heart a drum solo, fingers numb. The hallway smells like bleach and old pizza. I fumble with my keys at the door like a cartoon. I don't want to step inside, because whatever happens next will change something. It already has. Inside, the apartment is exactly the same as it always is. The couch, the lamp, the crooked poster on the wall that I refuse to fix. But under the bed, there's an indentation in the dust, like a person had been there. My skin crawls. I call their name, because what else am I supposed to do? Say nothing and pretend it didn't happen? That's not a thing anymore. They come out, slow, careful, like a wounded animal. They don't look relieved to see me. They look shameful, guilty. They explain, and this is the part that punches holes in me, that they thought if they could just be there, close to my breathing, maybe they wouldn't feel invisible. They tell me that their own apartment is a mausoleum of arguments, that their family texts never return, that sleep felt like the only honest time. They say that they started out sitting in a chair in the living room, watching me sleep like some creep. Then the living room chair plan felt too vulnerable. They started sleeping under my bed because it was quiet and small, because the darkness made them feel safe, because they thought no one would notice if they slipped in and out. I feel a mix of disgust and something else, a stupid, soft ache. I tell them to pack up and get out. I tell them this is not okay. They nod. They start to gather their stuff. Then, as if rehearsed, they start to cry. Quiet, wet sobs that break the last little defenses I had. They apologize, again and again, and it's like a broken record, but each apology is a little more raw. They explain how lonely it got, how they convinced themselves it was harmless. They promise to never do it again. I walk them to the door. I lock it behind them. I stand there for a long time, listening to the building breathe. I go to work the next day with dark circles the color of bad decisions. I tell my friends the story because I need to put words around the thing to make it smaller, but telling it out loud doesn't help. It makes it worse. The person who sleeps under my bed becomes a rumor, then a punchline, then a weapon in the hands of someone who wants drama. Here's the truly fucked part. The roommate starts telling our mutual friends that I kicked them out for no reason, that I shamed them, that I'm cruel. They craft a narrative, fucking carefully, about being hurt and rejected. People who don't know the truth take the version that sounds like a sad rom-com gone wrong. People are already so ready to believe the wrecked version because it is sexier and simpler than the messy truth. I try to explain my side, that finding someone sleeping under your bed is not an invitation, that boundaries are things people need, but half the time, explaining logic sounds like blaming. The friend group splits into camps, because of course it does. Some of them text me in private, "Bro, that's weird as hell," and then post a sympathetic meme to their stories about loneliness. Nobody wants to deal with the fact that the person who crawled under my bed might actually need help. It's easier to make them the villain or the victim and move on. Weeks later, I'm walking down the street and I see them across the road. They look at me, their face open, and for a second, I feel every piece of that night. We don't talk. We don't need to. The world is a collage of stray moments that never quite line up. I think about calling a hotline for them, about leaving a note under a door like some soft vigilante. But what would the note say? Don't crawl under people's beds? That's not help. That's a bandage. So yeah, I have this ugly, intimate memory now. A person under my bed at 3 a.m, wide-eyed and whispering apologies. A slice of human need that crossed a line and then tried to turn the blame back into sympathy. I'm not proud of how I handled it. I'm not proud of how it made me feel. Violated, but also like a terrible, heartless asshole when that person cried. The whole thing is a mess. If there's a moral, I don't know. Maybe it's this. People are more complicated than the stories they tell about themselves. Loneliness makes fucking Houdinis out of people. It makes them hide in places they shouldn't. But boundaries are real too. You can feel for someone and still lock your door. And if you ever wake up to a noise under your bed, don't be polite. Don't be brave. Just get the hell out and call someone. I say that now, as if I've learned something. But honestly, I still think about those eyes sometimes, and it's like a thumbprint on my brain that won't wash off.